And Simon Borg had a kind of connected issue. Before we get to there, just one thing that is connected to Klinsmann, since he helped Robbie Rogers get that move over to Leeds. No playing time for Double R at all. And are you surprised?
Well, no, not really at this point. I think a lot of players when they change leagues completely, there's going to be an adjustment period. We see it here in MLS with some players. We see it in England. We see it everywhere. They're in the championship. It's not going to be an easy squad to crack. Robbie has spent quite a bit. He has spent at least a year in Holland prior to his MLS stint. But there's two completely different leagues.
Yep.
Holland, I think, plays more towards his attributes, whereas England, he is going to have to figure a way to adjust, which is similar to the physical style of MLS. So at least he has a head start there. But he still has to work his way onto the team and work his way to cracking the squad. And this is his first shot. I think we should give him some time before we start passing judgment on it.
Well, we're all rooting for Robbie to get some playing time.
We definitely want him to succeed.
But the thing is, what if he doesn't get any playing time? Here you have a regular, at least during the Klinsmann era, who regularly played, for the United States national team, who can't even get off the bench in the championship. And either A, what does that say about MLS? And we don't have to get into this now. Or B, what does it say about Robbie Rogers? And, I guess we'll have to wait and see what that means. And hopefully...
I think championship is a good level for Robbie to jump into.
Well, I agree I agree with you.
Yeah.
When we had Simon on, and Simon, of course, did not think that Robbie Rogers should have a shot at playing in the championship, and so far he is right and we are wrong. So, little word out to Simon. We'll have to eat our words. If in fact Robbie doesn't see any playing time, and I just suspect he will at some point.
He'll eventually get some playing time, I would imagine.
Somebody will pull a hammy or something. They'll have to. Yeah, he'll get a shot. And then it takes us back to the whole national team thing that's happening in England. And I once had said on a radio show, and it was the one in Philadelphia. It was the Union radio show. I was a guest on. I can't remember the call numbers right now. But anyhow, I'd said if Harry Redknapp ever became the manager of the English national team, I would, I can't remember, chop off some body part and then shave my head. Because I really just was under the assumption, and I was right, at least for a while, the FA really doesn't want an English manager. They've been there. They've done that recently, and it didn't work. And then we have a guy with the cojones the size of bowling balls like Simon Borg, who has the gumption to write an article which basically says, hey, why doesn't David Beckham give a call to the FA? He's got pull, right? And put in a word for Bruce Arena. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I think his article with a grain of salt. Personally, I think he's basically hinting that there's a bias, a British bias, basically, that regardless of the resume of the former player or of a coach, I don't see the English FA hiring an American coach at all.
No.
Bruce obviously has his positives. He's had his successes at the international level. He's also had some failures. But he has a nice resume to back himself.
Yeah.
I don't see this completely out of left field. I just don't see it very feasible. But then again, he also says that he refers to Beckham's pull.
Goose hitting. I take this with a grain of salt and a box of goobers. Those things you can get at the movie theaters. Oh, by the way, we have to congratulate Simon. He actually. I think it was Jason Segini, actually did convince him to go to see a movie. And he was blown away by it. He hadn't been in a movie for, 10 years? And he just thought it was the most exciting thing he'd ever seen. And Jason's like, yeah, it was all right. That's what happens when you stay away from the movie theater that long. You even think mediocre is good because things have come that far in 10 years in the movie theaters as far as surround sound and all that. But, all right, that's off the topic. But back to his article. The English, as I mentioned earlier, would probably be more apt and open to a Bob Bradley suggestion than they would a Bruce Arena suggestion because of the following. They know Bob Bradley. A lot of the English press are very familiar with Bob Bradley, and they respect Bob Bradley and how he competed with the English during the World Cup, what he did versus Spain. And, you know, he was already, you know, seriously considered in the English press for the Aston Villa job. I mean, this is nothing. His name, it would be, especially now that he's in Egypt, coaching another different national team, the first American manager to do that since Steve Sampson did it with Costa Rica after being the U.S. national team manager. I think the English would be more open to that. They don't know Bruce because they weren't paying attention to American soccer back when Bruce made his run with the American team to the quarterfinals where they lost to Germany in 2002.
Yeah, Loney, I believe, made this same suggestion on the article. That BA would, or not BA, but that the Bob would be the more of an obvious pick if you're going to pick any American manager to succeed over there. So, yeah, I mean, people obviously know Brad. It's just funny how everybody, I mean, not everybody, there's a healthy population here in the States of footy fans that really bag on Bob Bradley, really bag on his tactics. But you know what? A lot of other people respect him. You know, some people here in the States, but a lot of people abroad really respect what he's done and what he can do.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know, the English press has been very kind to Bob Bradley, unlike some of the bloggers and press over here. They don't call him Bunker Bob. They think what he did versus Spain and the whole counterattacking, counterattacking pressure mode of style of play. That's actually a style of play in their book, and it is for me too. And Bob's going to get more credit down the line. I think we'll wait and see. But my only last comment on this is that one thing that Simon does say that I'd have to say I disagree with is that aside from, and I quote, his recent spell at Tottenham, Redknapp's resume doesn't blow anyone away. I'm not sure I could say that because wherever Ari has gone, he has competed. He has taken a team that stunk before and made them better. He's saved some teams from relegation at the end of the season. And, you know, he's actually turned Tottenham into a regular top four. And this is not with the best players in the world. He's often done this with lesser players. Now, this year may be a change. Obviously, things look pretty good as far as the players they have on this team. But come on, you got to give Harry some credit. We're not at the other guys that he mentioned, Sam Allardyce. I can't see that happening. So, but anyhow, to end this whole topic, Beckham is not going to make that call.
No, nor should he be holding his breath. You know.
Who, Bruce?
Yeah, he shouldn't be holding his breath that Beckham would.
It's a funny picture. You can kind of almost imagine Bruce Arena holding his breath. The way he is sometimes on stage answering questions, he looks like he's holding his breath, turning red and getting kind of pissed off, but he's trying to keep it together.